was behind the most public leak of classified U.S. military documents in more than a decade. The Washington Post says they identified the supposed leaker of highly classified documents, described as a lonely young man and a gun enthusiast who was part of a chat room of about 24 people on Discord. That's a voice and chat platform that shared a love of guns and military gear. The Post cited an interview with the leaker's friend, who was also part of the group. The friend told the Post he would not reveal the identity of the alleged leaker or their location to authorities. These leaks included transcripts of classified intelligence documents, including U.S. assessments that the war in Ukraine was going poorly, and the United States believed they could pressure Israel into sending weapons to Ukraine. The leaks also included the disputed claim that Israel's Mossad intelligence services were involved in the massive protests against Israel's government. Now, for so much more on this story, we're joined in studio by our correspondent, Nicole Zedek. Thank you very much for joining us, Nicole. Let's try to understand exactly what's going on with these leaked documents here. Tell us first off what we know about the leaker himself.
Well, that's really what we are focusing on right now. And we have to remember that this report from the Washington Post, it all revolves around one minor. He's under the age of 18 who was in this Discord group. Now, his claims have been backed up by another person who was also in the group, but this is all very anonymous right now and very initial. So the Pentagon is also working on their own investigation into these leaks and who actually leaked them. But as far as what we are hearing from the one person that did come forward, as you said, it's from a Discord group. It was a small group of about 24 young boys, and the man himself, he was called OG. That's what they referred to him as, and he was the one that was posting these very classified documents. Now, according to the person who spoke about this, he said initially the OG had been transcribing the documents, but that started taking too long, so he actually started posting pictures, and those are some of the pictures that were leaked. And what's interesting about that is some of those pictures actually do detail some possibly information that could help the FBI track him down. You know, bed covers, Gorilla Glue in the background, whatever it might be. It's a lot more telling than just transcribing these documents. And so that could potentially help track down the OG.
I want to discuss what some of the documents said, because one of the things we're hearing about this case is that he had never intended them to go massively public, which undermines many of the claims that it's a disinfo or a counterintelligence operation, which means that we have to take a lot of the claims and the intelligence very seriously. What do we know about what's been leaked so far, particularly stuff about the war in Ukraine?
Well, when it is pertaining to the war in Ukraine, I know the Pentagon has at least confirmed some of the documents, but the documents kind of date back to February, mid-March, and in those classified documents, it kind of details how the Ukraine's air defense supply is dwindling. Now, this is something that broadly we knew, but the specifics were not detailed. And now that those specifics are out, it could really help Russia in their counteroffensive. All of this comes as we hear talks that Ukraine is preparing for a spring offensive, so that could happen very soon now. But we're hearing that now their air defense really is dwindling. In fact, according to those documents, if they are correct, if Ukraine continues at the consumption rate, they're actually going to be out of Butte missiles by today, out of S-300s by May 3rd. So this is really impacting them firsthand. Now, in contrast to that, you could look at it as a positive. Now that you do hear these exact numbers, the U.S. could use this as a boost to say, hey, this is exactly why we need to be sending more air defense, more missiles, more ammunition towards Ukraine, and kind of encouraging allies to follow suit.
Okay, well, thank you very much for helping us break down this story.